story I tell for smoking bud. It's not like really this different story I tell for the first time, because this time was a bit different. Okay, I'm sorry if my quality isn't too good. We're using my phone mic, but yeah, let me get into it. So about November last year, I've always been curious about bud, but November last year is when I wanted to smoke it, and I was looking for people who sold it in my school, and I eventually found this kid who was gonna sell me a pre-roll, and I'd given him £10 or $10, wherever the fuck you're from, right? And thingy, the next day he gave it to me, and weirdest part is he was in the toilet stall for like a little bit doing something, and then he gave it to me. At the time, I thought he just rolled it up, but now to think of it, I think he might have, like added what he added to it. I'll get to that in a bit. But pretty much, I got home all excited. I spent the entire day like hiding from the teachers and shit, because I stank so much. My friends were tormenting me, giving me spray and shit. It's horrible. But eventually, I got home. I see, this is where it gets weird. I smoked it in my toilet, and I was waiting for it to kick in. And I remember I was listening to Cushion Orange Juice, the album by Wiz Khalifa, one of my favorite albums of all time. But yeah, pretty much. It now eventually, if you've listened to Cushion Orange Juice, you'll know the song called Up by Wiz Khalifa, and that's like the trippiest song on the playlist. On the album. It goes like it reached up, and I remember at the point where it goes like not coming down. That's where it kicked in, and pretty much now that I've smoked more bud, it didn't feel like bud. It felt like bud with something else. It was really, really weird. So I was looking around my bathroom, and I was like, "Fuck, what is going on?" I thought I was dead. I thought that my soul had carried on, and I was in some weird dimension. I was trying not to scream because I was so scared. Right. And eventually, I was trying to calm myself down, because at the time I just refused to believe this was spec. I was like, nah, this isn't laced. This isn't laced. Yeah, this is how weed feels like. So I was trying to convince myself it was good, it was fun, because what I was doing is, whenever I took a step or walked or anything like that, I didn't feel like I was walking. It just felt like I'd teleport. So I would just kind of walk to the shelf of my bathroom, then step back and I walk to it again, and I was imagining I was a fucking superhero, just slide in there, and it felt so weird. But in my mind, I was shitting myself. And one of the other things that kind of, made me suspicious that it wasn't fully weed was I saw my mom in the kitchen, and she was like, "Oh, are you okay?" And I was like, Yep, I'm fine. I was just talking really, really fast. I was just panicking. She was like, "Yeah, are you sure? And I was like, Yep, I'm fine. All right, I'm just really, really, really tired. Like, I was speaking really, really fast, like I was on coke or something. Then I went to my bed, and I remember, this is the one part that I remember vividly, because all of my movements just felt so exaggerated. I had grabbed my deodorant can, because I sprayed it all over the bathroom. I grabbed my deodorant can, and I placed it down on my desk, and it felt like it was slow motion. Like, I felt like my arms were fucking jelly. I felt like I can't even describe how my arms felt, how everything felt, really. And I had really, really vivid visuals in my mind, like I was imagining that there was some little gremlin controlling my brain, and there was glass plate. I can't even describe half of it, because it's just so crazy. But I remember I had sat down, and I was in my PE kit, but I just couldn't be asked to get changed because I was that baked. But I had called my friend, and I remember I was telling him, I was like, yo, I just smoked some weed. Yeah, I just smoked some weed. It was really... I was just so out of breath, right? And I was trying to tell him that it was good, but I was just not speaking. And I remember he was like, "Yo, are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro. I gotta go. Alright." And I hung up, and I was going to grab the water on my desk. And this is how I was able to tell that it was a bad drug, because like I got spiked with. It wasn't like spice or something. Spice is still bad, but I knew it wasn't spice. It was something really, really bad, because I was standing up and my legs were so weak. I almost crumbled, just fell down, you know. But um, I handled it pretty well. You know, I was calm. So yeah. I remember I lied down on my bed and I could feel my cotton mouth was insane. It felt like there was like spikes hitting my throat and shit. It felt like there was little spikes just stabbing my throat whenever I would swallow anything. And I felt like it would just get worse and worse and worse the less I drank water. So I was kind of rationing my water. And while all this was happening, I could feel and see every single thing going on inside my body. I could feel my throat opening and closing whenever I breathed. I could feel the water trickling down my throat to I don't know wherever the fuck water is stored. Um, I could feel the valves in my throat opening and closing whenever I breathed. I could hear like shit breathing whenever. Now this is the weird part. I'd feel the valves in that. It probably wasn't real. Hopefully it wasn't real. I could feel the valves in my heart opening and closing, letting the blood in and shit. I could feel the blood just rushing through my veins, and then I felt that my fucking veins were vibrating. It was fucking weird. So I felt like my veins were vibrating, and then my mouth was really really dry. So I remember my mouth was kind of stuck to the roof of my mouth. I mean, not my tongue was stuck to the roof of my mouth, and I had like, okay, I'm sorry for the waffle that's about to come. Just warning you. I think I already mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm baked as fuck. Unstuck it, if that makes sense. And it smacked against the bottom of my mouth, and I felt my tongue just kind of go side to side, then just slither, and it felt like there was a snake in my mouth. It felt like my tongue was a snake. My tongue was vibrating. I was just shitting myself. I was terrified. My laugh was like flashing before my eyes and shit. Because I wasn't really scared of the experience. Like, I was scared of the experience itself, don't get me wrong. The experience itself was fucked up, but I was more scared of what I got spiked with and if it was enough to kill me. But then I started convincing myself that I wasn't spiked because I refused to believe it. But pretty much. Okay, for a second I thought that I lost the entire voice recording, but anyway. Um, I'd pulled up a YouTube video, and I'll leave this in the description. I pulled up a YouTube video, and it was like, I went out to Google, and I'd searched up what to do if you, like, green out, get too high. Because I thought I was just greening out. And months after, I was even referring to it as the green out. But, I was watching this video, and the video was so fucking goofy. I watched it when I was over, and it was just so goofy. It was ridiculous. I genuinely can't tell if it's satire or not. But when I was stoned, holy fuck, it felt like this woman was saving my life. I put the video on repeat. I put my phone up to my ear and was just listening to it over and over again, while I was sweating my balls off as well. So it was getting on my phone and everything. It was disgusting. But eventually, when it started to calm down a little bit, then I just started watching TikTok and shit, and kind of rolled it out. Then I slept finally, because I couldn't sleep. I wanted to sleep, but I just couldn't sleep. But I finally slept, finally, and then I just went on to TikTok, and that was the end of it. Like the days after. By the way, I eventually found out the day after. Well, I'm just kidding in school, and I was like, "Yo, what was in that?" Because I realized when I was over, like, that was not weed. That was not. I haven't even smoked. I hadn't even smoked bud at that point, but I knew it wasn't. So I asked him, "Yo, what was in that?" He was like, "Ket." Mate, he put Ket, the horse tranquilizer, in the joint. Later on that week, I got inspected by him again, but with Ket as well. It was a little. It wasn't as bad. I'll say that for another story, but like, bro, I got spiked with fucking cat. Like the weeks after, it still felt like I was on it, and I was fucking scared shitless of eating in public or drinking public water, like getting food at school and shit. Cause I was so scared of getting spiked. Like it wasn't that I was scared of getting spiked. It was just more like I couldn't, cause if I did, I'd feel like I was on cat again. It was weird. It took me a while to get over that, but almost a year later, coming up on the 1 year anniversary, November 18th will be the 1 year anniversary of that. And I think next I'll tell a story about the other time I got spiked that week, and the story I tell. Anyway, see you.